Assad stood in the neighborhood. Need to buy some materials for the house. So he killed him. Home monthly market to tell this shop. Assad tactfully opened Nouri's inbox on WhatsApp. Being mediocre with things. Now you don't need to give the market list over the phone or spend a lot of money on the phone. A lot can be exchanged on Messenger WhatsApp, starting from very good flirting. Among which market list is one. It is becoming more and more common now.
Nouri's list tells Kashim everything from Assad onion garlic to teapot. Kashim is the list of the world. Then he gave the list to his father and said, Radin, this is it. Radin started to arrange everything with the list.
Among these things, Assad and Kashim started gossiping. If any other buyer comes, Kashim handles him. After a while, Assad said to the two people, did you give it all right? Radin shook his head saying, yes. Kashim said,
you know the list when you forget it, brother. Let me know if there is any problem. All right. Was about to leave, a 7-8-year-old child came into the shop with his 75-year-old grandfather.
The popular children's food toy Kinder Joy began asking for it. He started saying, Dad, I will eat this. I will eat. The man said to the shopkeeper, give me that one, father. Kashim said bitterly, Uncle, the rest cannot be given. The man said that he would give it later. But one word of Kashim, the rest cannot be given. Then the man bowed down in defeat. Can't meet the grandson's eyes. After explaining a lot, he took his grandson to cry. Assad stood a little. He said to Kashim,
isn't the man Tawfiq Saheb's father? Yes, brother. Why didn't you give it? What else can I say, brother? A few days ago uncle came to the shop with his grandson. He was buying chips for his grandson. At that time some of his friends also appeared.
Everyone stood here and gossiped for a while. And eat cake water. As always I write in the bill book. Tell Tawfiq Saheb at night. He is afire with rage. Gave me strict instructions not to give any kind of leave to her father. Now you tell me what to do.
With a sigh, Kashim added, what about shame, brother? People are big in terms of money, but they remain small in mind. When fathers are old, do they need to spend their hands? Can't they have something to say to their friends?
Can't you want to eat something when you go out? These things are not for children these days. We're young, we took a lot of money for spending money. Assad walked home with a sigh.
Assad came home. As usual, Afrin danced and came forward and hugged Assad saying, Baba Baba. Nouri came forward and took the bags from Assad, and said to Afrin, Mother doesn't bother father now.
Let it be fresh first. Taking Afrin in his arms, Assad said in reply, you go to your work. My daughter never bothers me. Nouri smiled and went to the kitchen with her bag. Assad came to the dining room with Afrin in his arms and looked at his parents.
Coming to his father, he took out 1,000 rupees from his pocket and handed it to him and said, keep it. Manoj Shikdar was quite surprised. He said, what shall I do with it? Keep hands as expenses. Ha ha ha, what else at this age cost?
A little tea and drinking has become a habit. You bring that too, and the wife makes tea. Keep it anyway. Finally losing to Assad's insistence, Manoj kept the money in his pocket. After a while Nouri served food on the table. Everyone sat together to eat.
Some talk about the office, some talk about the house, some complaint arbitration of Afrin. After finishing the meal, they gossiped for a while and went to their rooms. Nouri fell asleep listening to Afrin singing the king's and queen's throats.
Afrin came to Assad's side and rested his head on his chest as soon as he fell asleep. He said, is there any happy news today? Surprised, Assad said, NATO. Why? Did you give a lot of money to your father? That's what I gave. He also has expenses. A smile, what is the cost of him at this age? He stays at home all day. I give all the breakfast and water. Why do you say this? How did I say? I am just saying that saving for the future without spending extra is good for everyone.
I'm sleepy. Assad fell asleep after removing Nouri. Nouri also came and lay down next to Afrin without saying anything. Nouri's father came the next afternoon, a couple of hours away from their home, but he doesn't come often.
Nouri was very happy and surprised to see her father. Said with a smiling face, hey father. You suddenly, I was passing by, I thought I'd see you. You did well. Bring your mother one day. Long time no see, I will bring one day.
Nuri's father exchanged pleasantries with Assad's parents for a while. Then he had water for breakfast. Before leaving, he called Nuri a little behind. Say something, father, son-in-law went home in the morning. What do you say?
Why? What did you say to your son-in-law yesterday? About what? Regarding giving money to Mr. Bai. Now Nuri understood the reason for her father's sudden arrival. Nuri said in a random voice, I didn't say anything.
Listen, Mom, don't do something that makes me feel small. And don't do anything that causes chaos in the world. There are no boys like Assad these days. Look, he hates your words. But he didn't say a bad word to you. It has been explained to me.
Now it is my responsibility as a father to understand you. And I'm here to do just that. The rest depends on you. Nuri shook her head shyly. Turned home at night as usual. Afrin came forward as usual and started shouting. Nuri's rule, Assad's prohibition, eating and drinking like this, gossiping, everyone went to sleep in their rooms. After Afrin fell asleep, Nuri quietly came to Assad's side. He said in a haughty tone, Father came today. Assad said without knowing anything.
Suddenly. Why let it go? He would stay for a few days. Play with me. What drama? You complained to father so father came and listened to me. I have work in the morning. Sleep now. Why do you always want to skip?
Hey, I have very important work in the morning. Keep your work. Listen to me first. Well, tell me. If I ever make a mistake, you will tell me directly. For a girl, her husband is the biggest guardian. When I disobey you,
You will go to your family not before that. Hearing this from Nuri, Assad's mind calmed down a bit. At first he thought that Nuri might argue with him about this matter. But Assad breathed a sigh of relief seeing Nuri's attitude completely different.
he felt he should explain something to Nuri now. So he said, actually I don't like quarrels. So I didn't say anything against your words yesterday. You may have thought that at this age, what is the cost of father's hand?
Have you ever thought that when father goes out with Afrin, if Afrin wants something, how will father give it? Moreover, father cannot have friends. Father cannot want to bring a gift for mother. Do not want to eat something you like. Does the desire of the mind disappear when you get old? If you are old, you don't need to use your hands, I understand. But you could have told me these things if you make me short to my father unnecessarily.
Nuri pretended to be angry after saying the last word in a haughty tone. Assad raised Nuri's face and said, children never grow up with their parents. You are still small to them. So understand. And what am I to you?
What does that mean? Nuri said in a shy tone, Am I still the Nuri whom you wrote poetry on the first night, or am I now an old woman? You are still the same as before, will be forever. Nuri was shy and hid her face in Assad's chest.
Assad stroked Nuri's long black hair and said, I think I will increase your hand cost. I don't need a hand. You said it right. Pickpockets don't cost money. Hello, don't call me a pickpocket. Husband's pickpocket is every wife's right. So understand, absolutely.
A crazy one. After saying this, Nuri was hugged tightly in his chest. In the meantime, their dignity was weakened.